Okay, so the last time we made a video about strictly a Montreal Canadiens topic and a Canadiens topic only, not including that Vancouver Canucks related thing with Antoine Roussel, it was a prospects video where we spoke about Cole Caulfield and we talked about whether or not he was developing properly with the Badgers. That video got a whole bunch of reception and a whole bunch of controversy and discussion in a very civil manner in the comments, so I very much appreciate the kind discussion that we had for that video topic over there. But that previous video was a little bit more on the downside, as to a negative aspect of a Montreal Canadiens prospect. Well, today we're flipping the script, because instead of talking about Cole Caulfield, today we're talking about another one of the Habs top prospects in Alexander Romanov. And this time, we're taking a look at probably what is the most hyperbolic statement you can make about a guy like this. But the fact is, it's being made by NHL.com. So it's not really all too ridiculous compared to if it were just me coming out here and saying it flat out, because today we're talking about Alexander Romanov and how you can classify him as one of, if not the absolute best Russian defenders ever. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I said that, but before we get into this video, big props to all you who commented CM Punk in the comment section of the Caulfield video. Stay tuned to the end of this video for the comment of the day, which will net you an opportunity at getting featured in the next Canadiens video. But without further ado, we're going over onto NHL.com, and we're taking a look at their all-time World Juniors starting lineup for Russia. It includes players like Alex Ovechkin, Pavel Bure, and Alexander Mogilny. This is written by Adam Kimmelman, and it was published on December 19th. Now, you saw the other two guys who are over here because it's in the little headline there, but NHL.com is doing these all-time starting lineups for these World Junior teams to celebrate the World Juniors actually starting a little bit later this month. And by the way, you heard it here first. World Junior streams? Oh yeah, count me in, baby. I definitely want to try those out. But they did a starting 5 skaters and a goaltender pair for Team Russia, and this Team Russia actually includes the Soviet Union as well, which is why some of these guys are on this list. But if you go over who exactly is included right here, for the forwards you have a starting line of Pavel Bure, Alexander Mogilny, and Alexander Ovechkin. And then you have a second line, which is also projected there, Evgeny Kuznetsov, Evgeny Malkin, and Vladimir Krutov. Ooh, my gosh, that's a great pick. But then you have the defensemen, because the top D-men pairing for the Team Russia all-time World Junior squad is Slava Fetisov, who played in 76, 77, and 78, who had 15 points in 18 games played, and who is the only player to be named the best defenseman at the World Juniors twice in 77 and 78, and he won the tournament with the Soviet Union club in all 3 years he played. He also was a hockey legend in general before he stepped foot into the NHL, and playing for the Soviet Union team, yes, this isn't Team Russia, this is the Soviet Union, he was just really, really gosh darn good. But the guy paired up with him is none other than Alexander Romanov, Montreal Canadiens prospect, who was named the best defenseman at the World Juniors in 2019 after he led the tournament with a +12 rating and led defenseman with 8 points in 7 games played, helping Russia finish third in the tournament. He made the 2020 Tournament All-Star team after he scored 6 points in 7 games and helped Russia finish second. His 14 points are second to Fetisov among Russian and Soviet Union defensemen at the World Juniors, and he's expected to make his NHL debut with the Habs this season. Yo, oh my gosh. Alexander Romanov is out here as one of the best Russian defenders of all time. And that is over some of these very, very amazing names. For the second pair over here, you have yourselves Mikhail Tatarinov, who actually was a pretty good Soviet Union hockey player as well. He's not the same Hockey Hall of Fame player like Viacheslav Fetisov is, actually. In fact, Tatarinov spent some time in jail for murder after his career ended, but that's a story for another day. We also have Dmitry Orlov, who is a current NHL defender, Stanley Cup champion Dmitry Orlov, who was over here putting up a whole bunch of points as well, 13 points in a total of 13 games in 2 seasons. Then you have the goaltenders over here. It's Yevgeni Belosheikin, who was over here with a 2.30 goals against average in 18 games, and he was 14-2, the winningest goalie in World Juniors history, which isn't a surprise because, you know, the Soviet Union hockey team in the 80s was so good everywhere. You have Andrei Vasilevskiy here as the backup as well, who, even though he had worse stats, I mean, come on, the guy is over here playing behind Belosheikin, who is the best World Juniors goalie of all time in terms of win percentage and in terms of the overall dominance factor that was there. But this is our all-time Russian-Soviet Union team. It is a very good selection of players, and you have Romanov in here too. So if you go over to the all-time actual points rankings, if you go over to Team Russia, take a look at what has been done for one individual World Junior season. Let's take a look at Russia. Hey, Romanov is up here tied for second. Dmitry Orlov had 9 points in 7 games played in 2010-2011, but the totals bring everything a little bit more in Romanov's favor, who had 8 points in 7 games. That's the same amount of points as Ivan Provorov had, who is a very good NHL defenseman. He's also tied over here with Alexander Ryazantsev, and ahead of guys like Alexei Emelin, Igor Rykov, etc. Now you have yourselves the Soviet Union Hockey Club records, where Viacheslav Fetisov had the same amount of points. In fact, if you take a look at some of the guys who are behind here, Vladimir Konstantinov in the 80s, ooh, what a great player over there. Alexei Kasatonov in the 70s, ooh, what a great player over there as well. Kasatonov, Fetisov, man, these two were the absolute anchors over there for the Green Unit, which included the forwards Sergei Makarov, Igor Larionov, and Vladimir Krutov, the latter who was indeed labeled as a second-line player over here, behind the forwards of Ovechkin, Mogilny, Bure. You really don't need me to tell you about these guys up front here, but let's just get it out of the way because we're already on the subject. These three guys were probably, at the time of their own playing, some of, if not the absolute best goal scorers in the game at their time. Pavel Bure, 39 points, 21 games in 3 World Junior tournaments. He is absolutely amazing, one of the best goal scorers ever. Same could be said about Mogilny in terms of his individual season performance. 35 points in 20 games, man. Oh my gosh. Mogilny, an absolute monster. And then, of course, you have Alexander Ovechkin, 25 points, 18 games, one of the best players to ever suit up. If you had Ovechkin playing in like the 70s or the 80s, who knows how many other records would have been broken in the NHL. But then for that second line, you have a lot of the really good Russians who are in here today. Malkin, Kuznetsov, amazing. And then you pair them up with Krutov, who is an absolute beast as well. You love to see it. It's just so cool how you have this historical guide to the World Juniors and the Soviets and Russia in general. You see all these legends up here on the list. Bure, Mogilny, Ovechkin, Fetisov as the starting line. And then you have Romanov in there too. Oh my gosh. I hope that one day we can take a look at this list. We'll open up this webpage from NHL.com, take a look at this Kimmelman piece written from decades ago. And I really do hope that when that time comes, we can look at this list and say, yeah, that Romanov guy, he belongs. He really does belong in the same echelon of guys like Vyacheslav Fetisov, above guys like Alexei Kasatonov and Vladimir Konstantinov, who weren't even mentioned in this article. In the same tier of guys, such as Alex Ovechkin, Pavel Bure, and Mogilny. You know, it's really unlikely, I would think. But, you know, if it does happen, that would be the best case scenario, wouldn't it? So, talk to me in the comments about this whole weird thing, you know? Like, I'm just kind of speechless going over the Russian-Soviet hockey connection here and talking about how Romanov is named by NHL.com as one of the best ever. So much to the point that he is only really on the same tier as Vyacheslav Fetisov, which is really, really, really good. And, you know, if you made it to the end of this video, comment down below 4-leaf clovers. And the reason we're saying 4-leaf clovers is because 4-leaf clovers, they're green. Green is the name of the Green Unit, which was the dominant 5-man unit playing for the Soviet Hockey Club in the 80s, consisting of Fetisov, Kasatonov, Larionov, Makarov, and Krutov. They had Vladislav Tretiak in net as well, but he wasn't really a skater, so he's not really included there. But the Green Unit did a boatload of the damage, the majority of the damage actually, and because I'm thinking about the Green Unit and thinking about the color green, hey, let's comment 4-leaf clovers if you made it to the end of this video for a chance to be featured in the next Montreal Canadiens related video. So, let me know about all that stuff in the comments. Also, if you think this list over here with Bure, Ovechkin, Mogilny, Kuznetsov, Malkin, and Krutov on the forwards, Fetisov, Romanov, Orlov, and Tatarinov on the defense, as well as the goaltenders in Vasilevskiy and Belosheikin needs work. Talk to me in the comments. What would you change around? Who do you think is missing, if anybody? But of course, if you like the list the way it is, then feel free to let me know about that in the comments section below too. I hope you enjoyed this Viacheslav Fetisov, and bye.